Hey, it's Mike from Party for Crafts back again with my xTool P3 laser behind me. And I'm going to be putting it through its paces and testing it by doing projects on it and letting you know what I think about it. All right, so here goes the first project. So the project I'm going to be working on is this viral trend that's been going around of people making like a market for birds to pick up materials to take to their nest, twigs and sticks and yarn and leaves and feathers, all kinds of things with cool signs making it look like it's a full-on market. I'll put a little clip of it here. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. Most people are making it out of cardboard. I'm going to make one laser engraved, laser cut, and I'll make the file available to you when I'm done. Some things that you'll already notice are new. The size of this laser, it is big. It is way bigger than a P2S. It has a huge bed inside here. Has a bed that auto lifts up and down. It auto levels based upon these targets in the corner. And look at the size. This is a regular 12 by 20 inch Glowforge or xTool P2S piece of wood. And look at how small that looks on this gigantic bed. It comes with slats. Eventually they'll release a honeycomb bed for it. And it is 80 watts. All right, these are the signs that are going to go on the stands that I just made. And I'm doing it on a whiteboard material that I just have to burn the white away. So the engrave should be pretty fast, and it might test the speed of the xTool P3. I'll do a precise measure by clicking over here and then clicking on the bed where I want it to measure. You can hear it moving. All right, now I'm going to cut the red layer. So click on the red, click cut, and I'm using the 1/8 inch basswood plywood settings. Come back over here, click on the blue layer, and I'd like to score that. That was already done. Let's get a preview. Looks good. Go to process it. Estimated time 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Get that out of the way. Here we go. Oh, and this new button, I forgot to mention this new button. It rotates to change the numbers and pick menus, and you physically press it down. Very satisfying click here. And here we go. Is this going first? All right, now it's cutting. Let's see smoke coming out of the bottom. That generally means it's cutting all the way through. Look at how fast that's going with 80 watts. That's a danger right there of using the slats. This thing's tip, and then the head could hit that. So I'll be ready. If the head's gonna hit it, I'll hit the pause button over here. Could have put more slats there towards the center. Okay, kind of my little thing when I do these reviews, is to try to see how easy it is to use these lasers. I do a minimal amount of research on how to use them. I probably should have done a little more research to find out that the xTool P3 does not have a built-in fan. You need to use an external fan, and so you saw I got a little bit smoky in there. I pulled out an IF2 that I had from a previous machine, and now it's cleared all of that smoke out. So I'll run another job in there with the fan hooked up and show you that with an external fan, everything looks great. All right, I set it all up. It says that it's going to take 9 minutes to engrave all of that and cut it. Let's see how this goes. I did the settings in my head based upon what I would normally do it on my 100-watt laser. So we'll see how it goes. Another new thing is before you can take a picture of the bed, with this laser, you have to lift it up. You have to have the lid open to take a picture of the bed. So that way, when the camera is here and you need to take a picture of this entire bed at angles like this, or the camera's here, like in the P2S, it has to be a fisheye camera. The farther away you get, the less fisheye it has to be. So with this door open, you're a good 40 inches above the surface that you'll be engraving on, and the picture will come out a lot better. And then there it is with the lid open. There's a picture of the bed, not warped at all, nice and straight. First thing, I have the material in there, and they have these brand new clips. These clips actually clip on to the bottom of the slat, and then they have almost like a zip tie. You can move it up, and then it has a little button that you press to move it back down. So pretty cool stuff. There's up, and you press the button. It's hard to do with one hand. And then you press the button to move it back down. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to throw one on here because it's a little not level. I have to say up front, I don't love these new clips. I have it pushed down as far as it'll go. It's still loose in there. It still moves up and down inside of there. I like the old clips better, so I'm going to throw some of those on. These just clip right on, and they're spring-loaded for tension. And that's better. There's no more moving around. So almost all of them popped right out. There was one or two where there's a little glue spot in the back, and you can see that part didn't cut. But it's probably because I chose basswood and this is Baltic birch. It just pops right out. No problem. So other than that, it was just because I didn't choose the perfect material. They all came out great. All right, I set this at 900 millimeter per second engraved speed. Never done that before. I'm not going to forget this time about the external fan. That goes out there. This is real speed right here. This is not sped up at all. The sound that you hear is mostly the external fan down there. Without the sound from that, the laser itself is almost silent. I barely can hear it at all. xTool talks about the acceleration of the P3. That's how fast it can start and stop at the ends, and you can see it starts and stops quickly. I like this whiteboard material because the smoke stains just wipe right off with water. And this is the Lowe's material. It's whiteboard on one side and blackboard on the other side. It's about $15 for a 24 by 36 cents sheet. That's not terrible, considering anything that's either white or black you won't have to paint. And it's so much faster because all you're doing is burning the paint off. You don't have to dark engrave. There's like a dark, medium to high density fiberboard under there, and it's pretty dark color. So if you just burn the white paint away, that's all you have to do, so I can go pretty fast. Now that it's got some time to speed up, you can really see how fast it's going. Some people worry about the sturdiness of the table that comes with the xTool P3, and they worry that it's going to wobble when it's engraving, but I'll hold this as still as I can right here. There's almost no movement at all. If I put my hands on the machine, you can see a little bit of wobbling with the background there, but not a whole lot. So the table seems to work fine. A little bit of wobbling isn't going to hurt anything. Alright, now it's going to cut. Let's see how my math worked out. Alright, there it is. We'll see if they all pop out. If they don't, we'll turn the engraved part off and just run the cut again.